All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be doing some BB16 analysis up to day 57. We are joined by the Shabanimal himself, Big Brother Can2's hitman, Arlie Shaban. What's up, dude?
Oh, not much, man. Just still here in Newfoundland. Got my rocking my wake up Newfoundland shirt, big
What up?
fan. Just partying, living the life after being on the show. Traveling around. Me and John are driving from Newfoundland to Toronto in a couple weeks, and we're just soaking it all in while we can.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's awesome.
How far is the drive of a drive is that? I don't know my.
Oh, I don't even know exactly. We're literally just starting to map it out now.
Oh,
Um,
really? Okay. Okay. Hell yeah.
That's
Well, it's. I know you won't be coming through Arkansas.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
we start losing Arlie.
Yeah. He
Goddamn
kind of
Canadian.
froze up. He's frozen really funny though.
Okay, you good?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay, okay.
All right. Yeah. But I was just saying, I know you won't be coming through Arkansas, and that's
I
really
wish. Maybe we'll make a detour.
maybe yeah, that'd be a major. Okay. Well, we'll just catch everybody up that doesn't know, and this is spoilers for everybody that doesn't want them. We've got obviously Derek Frankie as HOHs. The plan is that Frankie is going to put up Cody and Caleb. Derek is going to put up Christine and Donnie, and Christine is going to throw the battle of the block to keep Donnie up there and send Donnie home this week. So we'll just start there. What do you think about the noms? I mean, they have to pretty much nominate everybody in the damn house at this point with two HOHs still. So
Yeah, the noms are interesting. They're pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's getting to that point in the game where all big people have to go up. There's no one really left, and it's getting to the game where all the crappy players, like the Victorias and stuff, will just get left behind. So Cody and Caleb, they'll probably win it. They probably would even if Christine wasn't planning on throwing it. So it's a good power couple to put up against Donna, who you want to lose. And it'll be very interesting to see how this week actually plays out, and maybe Donnie will pull some miraculous solo man victory like Frankie did. You never know.
there's no I hope so. I hope so. And what? Well, actually, you know what? I'd like to see him get pulled off because I want to see the game we evolve this week into finding out exactly where Christine fits. Okay? Because if you have her ass up on the block in danger with Donnie winning POV, there's not a really, a huge reason to turn her loose. You know what I'm saying? Or to keep her. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Christine, I don't know. She's on the out. She's not well live. I mean,
Yeah,
she's
dangerous.
a number, but I think it was only that far.
I don't get why she would be like, okay, well, I'm gonna throw it. Well, you're the only other person that they would probably go after because it's you're super smart. You're moderately strong. You know the game. It's you're the only other person going up against Donnie. So if Donnie wins veto, it's shit, she might have a really good chance of going home. If someone doesn't want to get blood on their hands, they put Victoria up next to Christine. Christine goes home. That's an easy peak. Because I wouldn't want Christine in the game if I was in that game because it's she's smart. She knows what the fuck is going on. So it's I would want to take out someone that knows what's up instead of Donnie knows what's up. I mean, of course, go after Donnie, but at the same time, I don't know. And the other thing I think about is isn't Frankie concerned about this whole thing? Frankie's putting up big dogs, and so his team's probably going to win, so he's going to be coming down. That puts him in a very vulnerable state, really, because he doesn't have the safety of battle the block to go forward, So, he's putting his faith into the detonator's hands or whatever, I think that's really surprising move by Frankie because I would not be that dumb. I'd be I'm going to put Victoria up there so hopefully she can fuck it up and hopefully I can be HOH still. I don't know. I don't know what their plans are, but it's Frankie has to stay HOH in a way.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I would go after him. Fuck his sister. Fuck all that shit.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's how Cody feels, McCray. Cody wants Frankie out if Donnie wins POV and pulls himself off. And
yeah, exactly.
I'm with you there. He will get a chance to fight to come back in, which could be dangerous. I mean, because he's capable of winning. But then if you send Donnie out, Donnie's got every chance of coming back in too.
Yeah.
This. I don't know. It's kind of a tricky thing to where you're going to have to deal with a fallout. You can't send somebody into jury saying, "Hey, you're going to get to come back. Don't worry, fight your way back." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
need you to get back in. We want to send you. We want to send you so that Hayden and Jocasta and Nicole don't get back in. Like, there's no way you could you get somebody to follow through with that unless maybe like Lawan was playing again. So.
Yeah. Plus, the people in the house right now still probably don't know anything about someone coming back.
No.
No, I disagree. How could you not? Like, to me, I was fucking like, I knew what was going on the whole time last season. And if you fucking like watch last season at all, like, you should realize, like, okay, well, there's the possibility that this could happen. Like, I watched the first Canada season and I was like, well, this is gonna happen on our season. They're just gonna fucking do it. And then like everything kind of played out, and I was like, this makes sense. And then sure enough, it happened. I didn't plan for it, but if I was on this season, I would be making fucking dead to rights plans. Like, oh, this is gonna happen 100%. Let's all plan for it. Let's get out someone weak right now, so we can fucking like bring someone back that's weak. Or like try to get someone to come back that's weak, and not someone strong that's gonna be out for blood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, we were planning for that too. Also, just thinking that, you know what, they did it. We couldn't tell if them doing it in the first season of Canada meant they were more or less likely to do it in the second season.
Sure.
So, again, the thought was always in our head, but, like, I just didn't know. So you guys pretty much could tell someone was going to come back when you were in there?
I could, anyways, just because, like, the way that the counted out and the way that, like, what she said when she said it, and then, like, I was just like, okay, 4 evictions would be perfect, like, just timing-wise with the weeks and everything. Like, I didn't know how they were going to come back or anything like that, but it was just like weeks-wise, we need an extra person to come back no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, basic math.
Fair enough, but they did also extend the finale a week, so maybe the house, I just don't know. I feel like it's kind of maybe 50-50. They're probably hinting at it, but...
I was actually talking to a person that was like, I think they're going to bring back 2 people. And I was like, I believe that 100% because if they already brought back, or if the weeks are already set up like our weeks and they brought back one, that means that they're going to have another extra week because they're playing for like 96 days or 97 days where we only played for 90. So that's a whole extra week. So maybe they might bring back 2 people. Who knows? And that could be an interesting twist, actually. I wouldn't be that upset with that.
Julie Chen said last night, I believe she said that just one person would get to come back in.
See, like, that's like, why would she make that designation of, like, just one person? Because another person's getting behind the scenes fucking shit up. Like, I don't know. I want to know the, like, verbatim transcript of what Julie said, because I've been hearing a lot.
I understand it to be, at least for this competition, which I expect to be next week, will be, it'll just be one person from what I gathered from what I understood her to say. So, and I think that's like cheesy. It's kind of like, okay, Judd came back last year. Okay, well, we've done that. Bring 2 people back this year, and then, if you're going to do it at all, because otherwise it looks like you're just, riding the same.
Running out of ideas. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
that's one of the reasons why we actually didn't think it was going to be in our season, which could also be what the American ones are thinking. Okay, they did just do it last year, but again, the weeks, and you guys just have such long seasons now. Like, I wonder if this is going to carry on. It's cool. I wish ours was longer.
I mean, maybe they're trying to inch it out there to compete with Utopia. To get like eventually about 115, 120 days. That wouldn't surprise me, and the audience would love it. I wish Big Brother was on longer. I mean.
I do too.
But
at that point, it's like, let's just have 2 seasons. Just have 2 seasons here,
Just like Survivor has. Yeah. Absolutely.
But at the same time, that's why we have Canada. That's the beauty of Canada, is like being able to watch.
I guess now,
seasons a year.
Yeah, exactly. That's if nothing else, why I'd want to move to Canada. It's just like I could have 2 Big Brother seasons a year. Just popped into the old cable line. So, because here, trying to watch BB Canada here. Holy shit!
Fucking impossible.
It's tough, eh?
Yeah, it is. I feel like I'm some, hacker or something.
Oh, that sucks. It's obviously real easy. Well, shit, we get it on TV, let alone all the internet in the world streaming it.
So insane.
So,
yeah, I don't know. Frankie, I think definitely should be worried. Fuck him. Like,
absolutely. Frankie, I don't think he helped his game at all. I think that since he's expected to get the $25K, He's an easy person to send out because it's not like you're not like you're shortchanged in the schools in Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, I mean, really, that's a fantastic thing that he's doing. But by saying he's doing that, it allowed them. And you know how you think in that game. You think, okay, if he's going to do that, we'll go ahead and say this and get him out, and like that should pacify America. You know, or that should pacify, like, you know what I'm saying? Pacify the audience. And yeah, absolutely, I think you should really worry about it because especially with his arrogance this week. With his arrogance, thinking that he's like awesome, he can really run his mouth off and get in some danger.
That's like the person that I would go after first, just because it's like, I don't like to be around you. I want to fucking see you fail. Like, my new goal is to see you fail, and I will do it at the cost of my own failure.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, all right, riddle me this. All right, so the 25,000, like, what that is for is essentially it's a motivator for the people in the house to be more entertaining than they would ever be.
Sure.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, that's what it's for.
And 100%. So when you find out that Frankie is guaranteed the 25 no matter what, there's no point to be entertaining at that point. Go to sleep.
You cry in the diary room like Zach.
Yeah.
You cry because
best meltdown ever in the diary room.
I think that was one of the best.
Oh, you know, that was just a straight-up argument he was having with production. He was so mad.
Exactly.
And you're like, this is gold. This is gold.
That was why he was, like, my favorite. Is like, holy shit, I feel like I've almost been there, where it's just like, fuck this. Like, this sucks. Like, just
I cried one time. In my season, and it was an argument I was having with production, and it was fake crying. So yeah, that's so funny. But on Frankie's game, this is my analysis on Frankie's. At the beginning, he was doing like trying to pull off what Andy did a bit. It was going a little bit rougher than Andy because Andy was just really good at it and Frankie wasn't as good. But hey, it was getting him far. He was doing good. But then he had like you know how like Paul and Kyle and I guess like Devin and certain people have like meltdowns at the beginning of the game and they just do ridiculous things with their game. Frankie had like a week 1 or 2 meltdown in like week 7. He literally just, it was instinct. Once he got called out by Hayden and Nicole, and they said that it was him and Christine's idea, like they just like screwed him and her and Hayden over completely. Once they blew him up, he freaked out, and he went straight to Nicole once she won HOH and exposed everything, and then instantly, like, he did the whole, like, what Devin did with the bomb squad, and he brought 2 people in without asking. He was like, me and Christine will jump over, and he hadn't even talked to Christine. Like, he blew up his whole game, and he threw all his people who he was still aligned with under the bus. Like, if he didn't do that, if he didn't say put up Cody, Derek, Zach, and Chris, or whoever the 4th was, he said put up, like, his 4 main alliance members.
Like, anyone but me, just fucking throwing out names.
Yeah, and then they all just talked and were like, okay, so Frankie, you were working with us, now you're trying to work with the person in power. Like, it was just like a knee-jerk reaction that blew up in his face, and then he had to expose his whole game, all because of just Hayden and Nicole blowing up. He could have brushed it off like Christine did.
He shit the bed.
Absolutely, yeah, I totally agree, McCray. He did. Like, like what you said earlier is perfect. He had like a week 1 or 2 meltdown with this game. Like, he should have had the presence of mind to be able to handle that just by being just chill. You know, Christine is pretty good at that. When she gets flustered, her face and stuff, she kind of tells, but she doesn't usually blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Frankie's got the capacity of just, I'm going to put it all out there. And at any given time when somebody's default strategy is to put it all out there, they're dangerous to work with in the game, especially at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like, you can do that week 1. You can get away with that shit like week 1. Like, that's kind of what I did, where it's just like fucking Alyssa would tell me something, I'd tell Amanda. Amanda would tell me something, I'd go back to Alyssa. But it's like, that's week 1. Like, once you start fucking around with people like that into this far into the game, like, that's like trust breakers. And then it's like, why would I ever want to work with you, motherfucker? Because you're going to tell shit to anyone to save your own ass. Like, you're never going to fucking, like, buck up and just kind of take some shit, take some heat, you know? Like, You
Yeah.
got to fucking take a little bit of heat sometimes, and you got to be able to work your way out of it without fucking revealing everything.
Yeah.
See, and again, I do agree with what you guys are saying, but it's funny hearing about it because it kind of almost does sound like what happened in my game. But the difference with my game and Frankie's game, I think, was like I was walking out the door. Frankie wasn't close to he should be close to walking out the door. It's near end game, but like he wasn't like target one for Derek and them and stuff. I was on my way out. I tried to expose everything, save myself, like grasping at straws. He like started grasping at straws way before the straws were even presented to him. That's what I feel about it.
And it would have helped if you had a famous sister. For sure.
Definitely, I would have milked that shit properly.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
But Frankie's ability to throw people under the bus at this point in the game, like Arlie, what you did was like he wasn't bad of the block. He was safe for all the sister reveal, for all this, like he exposed everything. He got some safety, and then he thought to get people back in his good graces. I'm going to tell you about this huge advantage that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's in Frankie's head right now. And I know that of course he suffered the loss of his grandfather in the house. I know the house can drive you mad, and he's playing. His game went from good to great to shaky to dicey to I don't know what the status of his game is now. And like we've said, he could very well be going out of the house this week.
Him saying his sister stuff is such a flash in the pan like idea where it's like, this will help you for like 5 seconds. Like, this is gonna fucking change everyone's opinion about you right now, but it's not a long-term like changing of the mind. Like, it's gonna corrupt eventually, like as these go on. Like, how about fucking think of something better than that? Because like it's like something that's like, well, it helps you in the immediate, but for the long run, it actually hurts you more than it helps you. So it's like,
what he was gonna do what he did, he should have made up something. He could have, if he wanted to have some big reveal about him lying, he could have literally just sat down and thought for a long time and come up with a cool, different type of story, or like added to that. I don't know. I just feel like he freaked out. It was one of those, like, he realized he had the first potential of maybe going home. That's probably the first time he ever felt it in the game. And he freaked. He was like, I need to save myself instantly this week, not looking at longer picture anymore. And it was just like knee-jerk. He had a stupid conversation right after he probably realized it was dumb. Once he had a little like half hour in a room by himself thinking about the talk, he was probably like, that is not gonna work. And then he tried to backpedal, and he threw his whole game away just in that one talk, I think.
It's nothing but a smoke screen, And Big Brother, he was safe. He threw his only smoke screen he had, and now that smoke is dissipated, nobody's going to give a fuck. What he needed to do when he was in serious danger on the block on like Thursday morning, you know what I'm saying?
That's when you fucking pull all that.
I've got fucking this in my holster, and just make everybody think, holy shit, what are the benefits of keeping him now? And all you gotta do, you just got to confuse them for about a day, get safe, and then you can rebuild your game.
But I think he was thinking that if immediately once he became safe, he was like, if I tell him right after I became safe, there's like a longer time for them to get over the fact that I'm related to a famous person. Where it's like, I figured that he knew that there'd be some bite back or whatever, because it's a famous person, So it's it makes him safe, but he has so much time between the next start of the next week that it's hopefully people will kind of forget about it. They'll have better feelings towards me. Everyone, we can just I think he was thinking that it was going to be more of a reset where it'd be okay, well, we're going to start from the start, sorry.
That's all right. Well, I don't get this. Arlie, maybe you can shed some light on this. Why in the fuck did he say, okay, he for one, he said, my sister's Ariana Grande, giant pop star, blah, 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 blah. But then he also said, I was a Broadway dancer, but I'm not now. Now I'm a YouTube personality and a mogul. I would never throw the word mogul.
Mogul is the worst word to use. That seems like
the worst word to use. But why didn't he just say, I'm on YouTube and I've got these hits? That way, because Derek, he could go to Derek and say, that's why I'm on Team America, is because I've got these fans out here. he could leave the Ariana Grande for like, he could drop that bomb later if he needed to, or he could just like in small circles have said the YouTube thing, leaving the mogul part out, and just saying, Derek, listen, blah, 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 blah.
He's a fucking game whore. That's what it really is. Because to fucking be like, oh, Ariana Grande. Like, he wants to fucking say that so bad. That's all he's wanted to say for fucking, whatever, 50 points.
1,000,000% agree. That was, like, on the tip of his tongue the whole time he was in there, just, like, wanting that. Because especially when you have, like, some type of secret in the house or some type of information people don't know. Like, you saw when he was telling them how, like, it was, like, an entertaining, like, something to do. Like, they were all eating it up. He went into, like, performance mode. It was like he had just been dying to let that out of the bag.
He was going to get a TV moment. Like, he knew he was going to get screen time out the ass. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's like, when that house is so damn boring and there's nothing to talk about, learning that somebody's got a pop star famous relative is going to fill the house with chatter for, about a day and a half.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be like, I'm so fucking tired of hearing about that. I don't care. I don't have a famous relative out there. I'm trying to win $500,000 because this matters to me. Y'all shut the fuck up about him. That's how I would feel like. That's kind of how Cody's like, and I know Zach's been that way from second one.
Yeah. And when you have players like Derek in the house still, they'll just wield information like that. Like, he heard that and he was like, he was just taking notes and he was like, oh, this is perfect. Like, I'm gonna use this when I have, like, now
that was just ammunition, just blowing his
exactly. He can throw Frankie under the bus whenever he needs to now. He's just like, maybe Frankie will be safe. That's why I don't mind them targeting Donnie and getting Donnie out, like, just because Frankie's now, like, just something they can always pull out and be like, oh, Frankie now, like Ariana Grande, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I hope they do it right after the new person comes back. I hope someone new comes back and then he goes home right after that. No chance you can ever come back, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're gone. Like, I want that to happen so bad.
Yeah. The thing with Donnie leaving is Donnie's been one of those things for the fans that, like, he's definitely like an underdog that you're rooting for. I mean, like, his almost winning that Vito saved himself in that double eviction almost with his last breath. I mean, like, he couldn't be any better a fish out of water to root for, though. So it'll be kind of sad. I would love to see Donnie get in a position where he's the single HOH and his strategy is being exercised in the house. I would like for him to stay around until that point. Plus, by him staying around, Victoria won't be sacrificed. So that means the detonators have to cannibalize. So I want Donnie to stay around for.
I don't know. I feel like the only way that Donnie stays is if Victoria goes. Like, one of those two is now in the fucking number 2, like, guaranteed number 2 position. Like,
well, it's not Donnie.
Donnie, of course not, because more people know that he can fucking win stuff. But if Victoria goes, Donnie could fill that position of, like, oh, well, I'm just going to hang out and, like, like, the only person that I think would be super opposed to that would be Derek, because Derek is on to Donnie, Donnie's on to Derek, and I think that's where the rest of the game should shake out. As long as Donnie doesn't go home this week, I want to see that interaction between Derek and Donnie, because they are equal and opposite forces, where it's like, Derek has that fucking streetwise, like, super smart, like, oh, I'm a cop, motherfucker, but, like, Donnie just has, like, street sense also, where it's like, I'm just a regular motherfucker. And they both are just, like, so regular and so genuine that it's like, of course, they're the only ones that know each other's secret almost. And especially because of America, it's like, I want to see that fucking battle so badly, because I think that's going to be the best when it happens, if it happens.
I would like to see that too. I would love to see Donnie stay around long enough that he and Derek either legitimately work together, or they fight it out, and if Donnie's HOH and sends Derek home, I mean, that'd trip everybody the fuck out.
Be insane.
Hey, one thing about when Frankie was doing his big reveal, and they just finished the Battle of the Block, and Derek was the host of it, and he wore, like, the announcer suit. Well, he was walking out there. Was he not pacing and looking like a fucking cop right there? If they're never going to a cop, if you just rewatch that clip, it looks like you're watching fucking Law and Order. Like, he's about to be like, what the fuck are you, it's like, holy shit, Derek. He was in total cop mode. And I loved how he's like, now, Frankie, don't give me that. we're all here. Who we say we are. He's like act like he's a fucking park ranger. You know. I fucking loved it, man. He was good.
I love Derek. I love like watching him.
He almost wanted to say, "Wouldn't it surprise you if I told you I was a cop?" I feel like he started, and then he's like, "Wouldn't it surprise you if I was someone who I said I wasn't?"
Exactly. What like?
I did that to Sabrina one time actually. When I had my Marcia mission, I had to obviously give everyone a harsh truth about themselves. And Sabrina's, I told her that she was really over emotional, and she just started going off about how like it's really hard. Of course, she's over emotional. Like she's controlling the game. Like everything's going the way she wants it to be. So obviously she's got more invested than everyone else because she's controlling how it's going. And I'm just like, oh, Sabrina, like, that's so smart of you. Like, yeah, you really are controlling everything. I wish I had to come in here and, like, try to orchestrate what was going on. Like, I really have no clue what's going on. And then I would, like, look at the camera when she wasn't looking and just be like, oh, Sabrina. So it's so fun, like, double talking to the house, but you know only the viewers are picking it up.
That is always super cool.
Yeah. Especially, you were great on that mission.
Yeah,
that was awesome. You couldn't.
That was one of the toughest
missions. Person to do that.
They didn't show the whole mission too. Actually, the actual mission from Marcia was I'd give everyone a harsh truth about themselves, and in the same conversation, I had to compliment them and give them a hug.
So that'd be tough, but it'd also be like I didn't know about that part, and that part makes it like a little bit better because it's like you give them the salty, then you take the sweet, and then you give them the hug, you know.
It was funny though because I started it all. I did them all in that order too. I'd say something because all my conversations with every single person were at least 15 minutes, except for like 2 of them, which were only like real quick. Heather's and John's were real quick, but everyone else I had to like sit, plot it out because it was really hard to go from like I was the nicest guy up until that point. I'd never said a bad thing about anyone. I had agreed with everyone's thoughts on everything. And then I was just like, I had to be mean to every single person. And I was like, oh, God, I'm going to fail this. So I had to sit down. I pretended slop to me. And that's I just couldn't deal with slop. I couldn't deal with slop. Shredded everyone. And then it was so hard going from the, like, I called Allison fat. And then at the end called her an amazing person and gave her a hug.
Arlie, since you were a person that had to do some of the tasks and shit, you were essentially like a Canadian player. You know, like, what do you think of America's players, kind of like their tasks, like compared to your tasks?
See, I like the concept of Team America. The one thing that I would have differently is I wouldn't have it affecting game. I would have Team America where it's just fun little tasks like, hey, say that Zach's related to America.
But you yourself, that like your task seemed like that would definitely affect your game. Like you said, you were the nice guy, and then you have to start like bashing.
It did, and if I had been on a Team America, and if I was on Team Canada, and that was like my second or third mission, I would have turned it down. I tried to turn it down, but there was a very harsh punishment the house was going to receive if I didn't do it. So I didn't want to get punished. I couldn't tell what was worse, getting the house a big punishment or, like, I don't know. So I do know it hurt me a lot, though, because I was playing a completely different person. I remember contemplating it for a while, being like, I had begged for Marcia mission, too. Like, I knew where Marcia was. I knew she was there. And every single day I walked past her, I'd be like, when you're coming to see me, like, come out. I hope I see you soon. So, like, to turn down the one mission that I finally get after begging for, like, 30 days.
That's tough.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's funny. Like, I wish, like I like the Team America stuff, but, like, you get 3 people that are on it, and that's period it. With Marcia, like, you know, you can, whoever walks in, you can surprise and have different people. And I think that kind of makes it fun, too.
It's really cool in there, too. Especially when you know she's there. Like, all those frames in there, one of them was just set back in the wall. And I noticed
that motherfucking frame, I know shit's going on with that.
Oh yeah, I noticed that literally first time I ever walked in there, because you're obviously very observant on everything when you're first walking around. And then like a week later, I heard someone mention it, and I was like, they're like, I think Marcia might fit there. And in my head, I'm like, 100% Marcia right in that box.
That's so cool. Yeah, I love that shit. I love your guys' tasks. Like, I don't know. I just am not a fan of like Artax. Like Artax seems so all over the place where it's like they don't know what they want from the house guest to do. Where it's like if you're gonna have them fucking wacky, goofy shit, then like go for that, but don't have like one that's like a game mission and one that's like a goofy, wacky mission. Oh, it's like, well, how the fuck is the audience supposed to pick? Like, be consistent. Consistency is fucking what sells it to me. That the whole Team America thing, like. If it's willy-nilly and do whatever the fuck, like, save someone this week, fucking play with yourself the next week, I don't know. It's just...
Well, it's like for a long time, these Team America tasks were basically let's hurt Zach's game, you know?
Yeah.
And Zach doesn't know about that yet. He's going to be pissed when he finds out all these tasks that he was set up for on a fucking tee and just knocked out of the park because Frankie was manipulating him, you know? And
that's
he really...
Zach, though. Zach's easily manipulated. I didn't think Zach was going into the house because I thought, like, me and Zach had, like, similar bios, in my opinion. And I want to see Zach go in there. And Zach just came out swinging from the very beginning, which, A, is entertaining to the max, but that's not how to get to endgame. Like, now he's the Frankie. It's just like, oh, when someone needs it, it's like, whoo, let's get Zach out. He did all this crazy shit. Like, so, again, I didn't think people were going to be able to just plant a seed in his head and him just like think it's his idea and run with it like that I was shocked at.
Yeah. I was super surprised by that. Zach is super fun to watch, but a game player, like, oh, he's the worst. He's not good at all.
Well, like, I don't know though. He's got a defined strategy, you know? Like, think about it that way. He's in the dining room saying, I'm doing this. I don't care about any of these people. I'm going to just try to raise hell and instigate. And they're going to keep me around because they're going to be so fucking busy about other things and their own little games and messes they're making. Exactly. It's like Zach could just kind of, I mean...
The only thing is that I agree with that, but I don't think that he was like, I'm going to play this game when I get in there. Like
that's the thing I agree with.
Where it's like, oh, so this is how this game works. Like, and I'm sure, like, no one gets to go in there and play the game that they want to, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of luck that he found out, like, okay, this is going to work. Like,
yeah, I agree. I feel like it's kind of like if Zach were to make it to the end of the game, it would be, and not just because they're both seen as villains or something, but it would be almost similar to, like, Evil Dick's run. It's like, okay, you did so many crazy, chaotic things in there that while I was watching, I was like, you are not going to get to the end doing that. But then... He does.
It is, yeah. Like, then it's like, I'll award that.
Yeah, and then the hindsight analysis of the game, it's just like, if he was doing that, that's epic. So, like, I want Zach to come out. If Zach makes it to the end, he will hindsight analysis this game, like, amazingly. So,
yeah, exactly.
Sure. So, I'm interested. He could go down as a really good one if he makes it to the end and has a wild story of, like, I knew people would hate me and want to bring me to the end because of the certain personalities that are in here, and I super genius put it all together. Like, we'll see, though. I don't think it now, but we'll see.
But I agree, though. I think if Derek or Zach make it to the end, they'll go down as, like, either one of them will go down as, like, one of the best players. Like,
yeah, Derek is, like, his game is next level. I thought by the double eviction, everything that would happen and all that chaos, like, how does his game not get blown up? How does Nicole not go up to Victoria and be like, so you last minute changed and you completely screwed me, that's the only reason Derek changed? Like, how does she not get that information? He's doing it perfect.
Yeah, it's just a testimony to how great he's manipulating the house.
Exactly.
I mean, like, I agree. I knew his game would be blown up by now, and it hasn't been. And what's awesome is that in some crazy way, he backstabbed Hayden and Nicole. They're both gone now, by the way. And all the shady business up to that point was blamed on Frankie and Christine, and Cody and Derek have just come out looking like fucking two dudes hanging out in the house.
I can't believe it.
Figure out what's going on. It's amazing.
Yeah, amazing. It is. The fact that Nicole doesn't even have to question Derek to other house guests, and she just takes his word. But that's what everyone's like. Donnie said, like, last week or something, he would never put Derek up. I'm just like, you should put Derek up.
You should. Yeah. No, if he wins, if he gets to the finals and wins, like, definitely like a top tier winner of Big Brother.
He'll be in the best 3 winners ever. for sure.
If he can maintain this, if he can maintain the amount of control he's had from day 1 to day 96 or 7, 100%, he's phenomenal.
Yep.
And you know what? I think this twist with an evicted house guest coming back in was gonna fuck his shit up big time. But if it doesn't, then I can't wait to meet him, hug his neck, get his fucking autograph because he's a fucking beast.
Exactly. That's exactly what I did too.
How many people was there in your guys' season when someone came back?
Came back. It was Helen had just left, so it was like top 8. Came back at 8.
Okay, in Canada, season 1, they did it when there was only 4 people left.
I know, it's crazy. Can you imagine? Like, that is just mind-blowing.
That's correct. Like, they were in Final 4, and they're like, bam, Final 5, the biggest threat back in the house.
Yeah, that sucks.
God.
I would have fucking been so upset.
Yo, they were. Jillian was here in Newfoundland last week, and we were talking to her about that twist. She was like, me and Emmett had this game. Both of us, like, they were the only 2 left against, like, Tala and Andrew or something. They're like, the game was ours. And then Gary walks back in, and we're just like, oh, no.
God, that would suck. That would suck so bad.
Yeah.
Not happy about
Like I couldn't imagine, like, Judd coming back in the house, you're like, I can do something with this. And, like, Gary coming back at the house, you would just be like, oh, like, having met Gary in person, he was nice as he could be to me, but thank God he was. If I'd gotten on his bad side, he could be terrifying.
Yeah.
And like I said, love him to death. He was nice as he could be to me. Yeah. But that dude comes to play. And him walking back in the house with an attitude and ready to get you, shit.
Scary.
But watch out. That's scary stuff.
Yeah, so scary.
So he's intense. But, well, what else do we got? I mean,
I don't know. I fucking was going to tell you guys that I was about to bail out right now. I got so much shit to do right now.
Well, hey, we've been going for nearly 45 minutes, and we've hashed every scenario that could play out this week. I'm guessing. I don't think there's anything we haven't touched. Arlie, can you think of anything we haven't gone over?
The only thing I really have left to put on the record is Victoria walking around, 50 grand check on her head. She's a Sabrina of my season. She's actually probably a little better than Sabrina, if I honestly want to be straight up honest. But I think as soon as the double eviction was over, that Victoria's got that 50 grand. I don't see any possible scenario where she sits on the block beside someone and she goes home over the other person. She's weak in competitions. She's weak for votes. She's weak socially. Yeah, I think she's second place. Other than that,
if her and Derek set the final 2, which I believe to be Derek's ultimate plan, it will be the complete spectrum of games played this year. You know what I mean? And it will be because of Derek. Derek has played Victoria's game for her. Derek has gotten her the 50K. He's put her in the position to not get frazzled, not freak out, not make enemies, not do this. He's given her enough information that she feels like she kind of knows what's going on, and it keeps happening week in and week after week. So like she feels pretty comfortable and trusting of Derek, even after this blow up this past week with Zach and the Nicole stuff. I mean, Derek, he
doesn't go up this week. Nice. If she doesn't go up this week, which I don't think she will go up on the block, if she doesn't, she's in his pocket for the rest of the game, 100%. He's already planted the seeds, which has been perfect. Now he has a little bit of power, and I'm sure all he's been saying to her is, just wait, I'll prove it. Like, as soon as I get the chance, I'll prove it to you. It's really me and you. Like, and now he's gotten the chance. He's made it clear that he doesn't want her up. Hey, everyone else listens to him all the time. He makes up some bullshit excuse why, hey, we don't want her to go home. We can drag her along a little bit. She's easy to beat. Let's not put her up. But really, he's like, I'll make sure you don't go up. You remember this for endgame. And he's got, like, everyone just dancing around, and it's beautiful.
Crazy. It's
beautiful. It really is. Well, on that note, I'm glad you brought that up because we talked about that before we went live, Arlie. But yeah, Victoria, she might as well just call her banker and say, "Hey, I'm at 50 grand check ready for you. Get that deposit slip ready, baby."
Oh yeah.
But anyway, well, hey, Arlie, thank you so much. Tell us what you got going. Tell us your Twitter handle and all that shit so people will follow you and everything.
I'm real easy. I'm at Arlie Shaban on Twitter and Instagram. I'm writing a weekly article for globaltv.com, which you guys can also check out. It's pretty sick. Break down and analyze the game. I get past house guests always throwing a little quote. Both these guys have given me a quote. Much appreciated. So, yeah, just follow me. I'm always having a time on social media.
Excellent, excellent, man. Yeah, that you write a good article. I always try to retweet it, and I appreciate you including me in it.
Yeah.
But all right, well, guys, I appreciate it. We'll wrap this up. Everybody, subscribe to the YouTube channel on the blog. Follow me at Spencer B. Clausen. Follow McCray at McCray Chum. And subscribe to his Twitch. Y'all bitches, dig in your pockets. Let's get this Twitch channel. What's your Twitch channel, McCray?
It's twitch.tv/chumlord.
Twitch.tv/chumlord. Okay,
Yep.
and get the at Divvy app, and you can do awesome
sponsor
Divvy.
for today was
Our
Divvy
sponsor
app.
at Divvy app, so you can do awesome divvies with me and some of your favorite house guests. To find out more information on that, follow at Divvy app or at Hayden_Moss with an M, M-O-S-S. Thank you, and peace out.